Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is a two-story video, so be sure to stick around for the second story as well. The first one is titled, Why I Need to Stop Following the Sub to Move On, and you might too. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Let's get right into it. 2.5 years ago, I found that my wife was cheating again. Only this time, she didn't want to work on us and hopefully mend the damage, but go on banging a guy 25 years younger than her. This sub helped a ton in seeing that I was not the only person out there that was getting cheated on, and helped me come to terms with everything revolving around her cheating and how it was a trait of hers, nothing to do with me and my looks or my efforts in being a good husband. In the past year, I've been exploring new relationships, always hanging on to that burden-filled thought that the next woman could be a cheater and a lying partner again, and holding on to that thought. Here's the thing, this sub basically has you looking at the glass half empty, that there are tons of cheaters out there, and the likelihood that you will be dating one is generally in your unfortunate odds. The amount of stories on here daily of new occurrences just backs that thought up. The world is a cesspool of cheating partners, and you should always be on guard. We know in reality this is not the truth. The world is mostly filled with good people who want to live a safe life with a normal, trusting relationship. I met a woman and we've been dating for 3 months. She's like no relationship I've ever had before. She's not the same person as any of my other relationships, and nothing like my ex-wife. She was cheated on as well and knows and feels the pain I have gone through. Both of us go out of our way to make each other feel comfortable with our emotions. Volunteering texts that exes have sent us, calling each other up on FaceTime when we're not able to see each other due to being with our children, volunteering up information that our previous relationships would hold secretive and never asked by the other to do so. It's incredibly healthy. So why leave the sub? Because it constantly reaffirms that your next could be a cheater, bringing any trust in a new relationship as a barrier. It sends triggers right back to us when reading the stories of others. It brings doubt and fear. I've stayed on this sub to help others through the trauma. This is my last piece of help so that I can help myself. I wish you all healed hearts and no pain. Someone better is out there for you. And the first comment says, it is nice to see someone move on to a better place. So much practical experience here. It is like you date, then fall in love, get married, then get cheated on. World falls apart, you find solid advice on Reddit, and then you move on. Full of hope that you have found the right person finally. The cycle goes on. And another commenter says, Brother, I think you are being so unfair with your thinking. You were always told that you could find a real woman and that she would make you happy as a man. The only thing that was told to you that if you knew how your wife was cheating on you, that you would divorce. But as you were, and I think you will be a doormat, you still did not want to. In the end, your wife left you for a child. We were right or not. You just have to do an easy exercise, put on your pants, and that's it. And the next comment says, no one can hurt you if you're alone, period. Been through trauma of the cheating and lies, and gaslighting pretty much ruins all women for me. Evil people cheat and lie. And our next story is titled, It Can Be Done. Let's get right into it. This is my first time on this sub, so I figured I would give some advice on surviving infidelity. I am currently on my second marriage. Been married 15 years already. Couldn't be happier, honestly. First marriage was a different story. We met when we were both young, only made it to 7 years. I won't get into too many details, but the gist of it was we were both young. It's not an excuse for what she did, but it did help me cope with the aftermath. So to keep it short, my ex-wife had an affair while I was deployed. She ended up getting pregnant by the other guy. She had an abortion before I came back from downrange. I assume partly because she knew there was no way in hell the kid was mine, but also I think she knew that dude wouldn't stick around. He knew she was married and I was deployed, so I guess he just wanted to have some fun, but from the emails I got to read after the fact, he definitely made it seem like he cared and loved her, which he didn't. I had heard whispers in the beginning of our relationship that she had cheated on me, but ignored it because I didn't have proof and the people who spoke about it knew were not very reliable sources. The thing is, she had no remorse. I mean, not at all. Somehow, her screwing around was everyone else's fault but her own. Her family automatically took her side even knowing that she cheated on me. I think what bothered me most was we had a child together already and she had the nerve to have this dude around my kid. Like most people though, I was still in love and wanted to work things out, but I'll be honest, she was the one that wanted a divorce in the end. As can be imagined, I was miserable and didn't know what to do with myself. I think the moment of change was when I decided to focus on myself and the time I spent with our daughter. The dude was in the military too, and getting him busted for adultery did feel great. The turning point in all of this was one day she had crossed my mind because of some paperwork I needed to sign off on for our daughter, and in that moment, I realized I wasn't filled with rage anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still dislike her as a person, but as long as she is a good mom, I don't give two shots what she does anymore. That realization came 16 to 17 years ago, and I figured why not share? It does get better over time, and the one thing I learned from all of it was not my fault. I was the best husband I could be considering how inexperienced I was with relationships. While I don't see it as an excuse, it helped me to just chalk it up to her being that kind of a person. She did get remarried eventually, and that only lasted a year or two, I believe. I'm happy with how my life is now. In the beginning, it was hard with my daughter because her mother did manipulate her behavior, but thankfully I was able to tough it out and my daughter realized on her own that her mother is full of S sometimes. I'm happily married, and my current wife has 2 children of her own whom I adopted early into our marriage. So now I have a wonderful wife, 3 great children, young adults actually, a good, steady job, and no hatred towards the ex. I'm doing just fine, but it all started with learning to not blame myself for things I couldn't control. I hope this helps anyone who reads it, and I apologize if it seems like I'm rambling. Still not fully awake yet. And the first comment says, "This is good to hear. I'm still very early in the process. D-Day was the day after Thanksgiving, and I'm currently in the mandatory waiting period for the divorce. The thing is, he has no remorse at all either. He's like giddy that now he doesn't have to hide the affair anymore. Our daughter goes to him every other weekend, and because of her very serious medical issues, he has to test negative for COVID after a 10-day waiting period after seeing the AP. He's already lied once when he got back from seeing her, trying not to wait the 10 days, so clearly he's still, like always, putting himself first. I feel so bitter towards him. 14 years means nothing. Our daughter's health means nothing. I'm praying in a few years my girl, now 10, will see through his manipulations and I will be able to feel peaceful when working with him. Right now though, it's hard to even imagine. Right now, I just feel hurt and betrayed for myself, angry, and defensive for my girl's health/life. I try to remind myself that people like them won't ever truly feel remorse because they are selfish. So anything in the realm of "I'm sorry" would be fake anyway. It's good to hear that there are success stories of people moving on and having good, fulfilling lives. I have a lot of work to do on myself first. I've never been the most confident person, and he really used that to his advantage. But I don't think I want to get married again. We had 14 years, the first few were okay, but it was mostly me supporting him, encouraging him to follow his dreams, start his dream business, follow his passions, become a coach, join clubs, and do his hobbies, etc. I was constantly giving while he was gaslighting me to get what he wanted when I showed the least bit of concern or skepticism. I don't want to be under someone's control again, but there is hope that I can find a good balance someday, and maybe if I am lucky, find love again too. Thank you. And the OP replied, "You're welcome. Reading your post, I realized we shared something in common. Growing up, I was never confident at all. When I met my ex, I think I was still that shy, awkward kid inside, even though I didn't want to admit it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a superstar by any means now, and I still have insecurities. I'm just lucky my current wife saw qualities in me others usually missed, myself included. She got the ball rolling where I was able to learn to be confident because I believed in myself, with or without her influence. It can and will get better, and trust me, even I said there was no way in hell I was getting married again, but since you read my post, I obviously lied about that one. Just remember your ex, like mine, is just selfish a-hole. It has nothing to do with you, and they would most likely still have been unfaithful with someone else. And the next comment says, I congratulate you, brother, that you could overcome it. I was 32 years in the Navy, and I saw many horrible things. Your experience is one of many. One thing that I have always asked myself, why do men always say that she is a good or excellent mother? Someone who takes his lover home is a good mother, who destroys the safe place of her children is a good mother. For example, for me, these people are neither good nor less good mothers. And the OP replied, I think for some of us, it's a coping mechanism. For me, it was easier to focus on some positive aspects of her I could believe in instead of being angry 24/7. And the commenter replied, the problem is that we always try and the truth is different. Excuse me, but experience tells me that what she did leads her to be a terrible mother, and you, apart from a great man, an excellent father. And the OP replied, I'm just happy she grew up. I see your point though. Honestly, never thought about it in that context until now. And another commenter replied, precisely. At least OP said his daughter can see the truth about her mother and how she can be scummy. And a mother like that who lies and has an affair despite being married to such a solid guy is definitely not a good role model in many departments like commitment and loyalty, responsibility, etc. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below what other subreddits you want me to cover.